All right, everybody. Doing something a little bit different. Um, I'm upstairs in my kitchen because it's too cold downstairs. It's a super cold day today, so I thought I would do this flip through and show you. I am almost done this sketchbook, and I thought I would show you. I haven't done a flip through for quite a while. This one was actually started in January 2022. I work in a couple, not many, different art journals or sketchbooks. So this one has about 6 more pages to do or so. So I thought I'll show you what I've got. Now this is primarily all watercolor and ink. There is maybe a few acrylics and there's some gouache, but mostly watercolor and ink. And it's a very inexpensive, this is just from one of my bottles. Sorry. And it's came in a pack of 3, I think, for wasn't very much money, maybe $20. Hey, Lena, thought I'd show my sketchbook. I'm almost done. And it's too cold downstairs, so I'm doing this in my kitchen upstairs. It's super cold here. It's minus 14 right now, Celsius. And the dogs are always trying to get downstairs and then they whine, so I thought I'd stay up here. Hope you're doing well and it's not too cold for you. Can you hear me and see okay? Just want to know that I'm using my old camera. Oh, you weren't planning on going on, were you? I looked, but I didn't see anybody. Normally I'm on at 6 Eastern, but thought I would. Oh, thanks. All right, so January, I started that year doing illuminated letters. So I decided to do one a month to the letter of the month type of thing. And then I love plants. So no, I still got issues with it. Really? You just never know, right? It's arthritis, and I hope it subsides for you and you get back to your art table again. This is very inexpensive paper, as I was saying. It's a kind of a cream color, but it did actually do quite well for watercolor. Now, mind you, I didn't put like tons of layers on, but for ink and wash, it worked just great. And I think there's 200 pages in a book. You hear weird sounds, it's my dog. They're right underneath my feet. We are, we are, we all are a sorry bunch here. Yes, aren't we? Yeah, the weather is the predictor of how we're going to be feeling when you have arthritis or that type of immune disability. So I did use a little bit of gold watercolor in these too, and a little bit of collage that I put in here, little splatters. This was a watercolor and ink, so I have some white ink and I also have black ink. Doing the fur a little bit. A little poor little fox huddled up in the snow. Another ink and wash, and this is just a little forest. And around here we have a lot of beech trees, and they tend to keep their leaves for most of the winter, and then eventually they'll fall. And I did a little boo-boo there, and I ended up making it into a rabbit. I don't know what I got. Can you still see me? I got an error put up on my screen from YouTube. Something about the URL. Okay. February, I think there was 3 different shades of gold in this one. This gold paint was the, oh, what was it? Kuretake, I think. I can't remember. It was an older one that was gifted to me. So little lovebirds with the, and one of my orchids that I did in watercolor, and no pen work in this one, just a bit of pencil that I drew it out with. And sketchbooks are used for everything, for me at least. Some people like just to keep them as a really finished work, but I like to put everything in it. So these were the new watercolors that I got. So I just took the wrappers and put them down on my page. Another February one. We got a lot of ice, and this is the ice coming off of the pine trees. Snowdrops, of course, always very popular in uh, late winter. March, little scene in the background, a little more cutesy, this one. But I like using that gold. These were just quick butterflies, and I just put down the names of the paint that I used. Oh, thanks, Lena. But some of them are okay, some of them are great, some of them are terrible, but this is a safe place to try stuff out and practice. And that's why I like sketchbooks and art journals to do that. I did a little bit of sewing on just to see what it looked like. Another March one with a little bit of gold on the cups, rims, you can see. I like this one, April. The iris. It's one of my first irises that bloom. They're little short ones. And then, of course, the gold and a little bee. Did I miss one? Yeah, I did. This is a page spread of what April was to me. And I like doing this every once in a while. So it's kind of like a collage of painting and drawing. So I have like weeds to pull, rain in April, brings May flowers. These are the colors that I used. Mud boots, very muddy year that year. Pots for planting, daffodils were up. Wet days for walking dogs. Oh, I have an umbrella. Garden prep, birds in spring. Oh, and a lot of bunnies. Munch, 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 munch. A lot of them. But they're cute to do this. I like doing that. Thinking up things to put in one spread. A little floral egg. This was cute. I like doing this one. So you take a shape, you can draw it, and then you fill it with greenery or whatever you want, but you got to keep it within the shape. Some stoke seeds that I planted. This was, what else can I use a fork for? It's just a funny thing to do. I saw something about trying to get your brain thinking outside the box, so this was one of them, like a holder for plants and holding up a plant, making designs, a pea launcher. A little sparrow on a piece of seed head of a weed. This was my lemonade, one of those sealing jar glasses. That was all done in watercolor. Just a drawing of an iris. J, I think this was for June. Again, the shape of something and you fill it. So if you got an idea, like it could be a big letter, it can be a shape, it could be a shape of anything really, and you just fill it. My garden at the top of the waterfall. So I just did a little thing there. This is part of my garden. So I went outside and sat in front of some of my garden. Certain flowers were in bloom together, so I drew those with pen and colored them with some watercolors. So irises and yarrow. Hydrangea. This is a new hydrangea I got. Tough Stuff Aha, it was called. Beautiful, beautiful big flowers. Blooms almost all summer. Orioles. I have a lot of Orioles around my area here. So I always have lots of oranges outside. I cut them in half and put them on my railing on my deck, and then they come and sit on it and eat the orange. They're really cool. Here's another idea, a J for July, and it's a lighthouse with water. So get your brain going and think up things. That's the same one, but done in watercolor and ink. I changed it up. And it's always good to do the same idea or drawing multiple times because each time you learn something. Delphiniums that I have, they're purple and blue. This was a class I did with different gouache. So there's different types of gouache, and I wanted to see with the white here what gouache is easier to draw on with colored pencils, because I like to do that. Watermelon. So I like to put the whole growth of what a plant is. So this has got the fruit. And then I also wanted to put the leaves and the flowers, seeds, all in one picture. August, another A with flowers. These were the flowers in my garden. So a really cool looking black-eyed Susan with long centers. And then these are the asters that I have. And then, of course, the colors I used. Crocosmia, another plant in my garden. A little bit more pen in this one. Here's another spread. It's August. And it can be something very simple, like coffee in the morning with my dogs on the deck. And you just put something that'll remind you what this means to you. It's little paw marks. And there's my dog, Coco. She's a dachshund. And weeding. No rain for 3 weeks. Volcano hardy gladiolas. They were cool. And they come up every year. But I didn't put the bulb in, and I should have. Another September, and this was another gold. This one's really, really shiny. Little misty river. It's back to school. So this one I used some boxes and drew in them, but also out of them. And then made it all cohesive by adding the leaves. And I think this is on a video if you want to go look at it. Most of these ones are. October, little cat going through to another world back there. And this was the Birds for a Month. I can't remember what exactly it was called, but they gave a prompt for birds for each day, and you could draw them or paint them or whatever you wanted to do. So I decided to do that. That was in 2022. So this is a pencil drawing. No special pencil, just a number 2 school pencil. And then I just used some ink to put the name and the number. So these are more of them. Some are a little more detailed, some are colored, some are just drawn. But it keeps you doing something, keeps you being productive and creative. Seed heads of the poppies, and I actually put seed in glue here. So these are actually poppy seeds. Hummingbird. So I'm experimenting with lettering too. A drawing of, what's her name? Wendy on, what's her channel? Something Gypsy. I can't think of it. Can you think of it, Lena? Unexpected Gypsy, is it? She has a YouTube. I was just watching her one day and decided to draw her. More fall plants in my garden. Yeah. Swan. And these are watercolor, ink, and then a little bit of colored pencil. Some of these. I love this one. I can't believe this is actually a bird, but it is. The secretary bird. And they do look like this. You would think that this is actually a cartoon, but no, they actually look like this. It's like they got that attitude. It's so funny. So these are all the birds that were on the prompt list. And I did them in different ways and different mediums. Fall, these are actually leaves here. And then I just drew the bulbs. So it's fun to get a prompt every once in a while. And I don't worry about like finishing it. I don't want to have to feel stressed about doing a challenge. If I want to skip a day, I do, and if I don't get it done by the end of the month, that's okay. I'll finish it, but it might take me 2 months. I just want to do it for something to do. Thanks, Lena. But I do like doing sketchbooks. Leaves. This is just some watercolor paper I glued in. I love this one. This is watercolor and colored pencil. And I like this guy too. He's such a pretty bird. Lovebirds. This guy's cool too. An Asian jay. Sorry if you're hearing that dog. She doesn't like it when I'm on camera. I'm not paying attention to her. Oh, she's terrible. She really is. She's so needy. And I like the flamingo. Really bright. I don't know if it shows it. It's got the pink and that orange in it. That's so amazing in their feathers. Barn owls, they're so pretty. And then here's another. This one's got a little bit of. I actually used some gold and when I cleaned my brush, it made everything gold when I painted. So this is a hidden pocket one. So the hidden pocket is the actual cup. So you never know it's there. You could put your little secrets in there. I thought that was a good idea. And this is actual ginkgo leaf, and I just taped it in. So it's about gardening in the winter and what I was doing. November, little bunny, squirrels, of course. That was fun. And then I started doing the little gnomes for Christmas cards. So these were the drawings and then the pictures. Some of these are actually up on my YouTube. A little Christmas ball, winter leaves, first snow. So there were still leaves on the trees. Yeah, I do too, Lena. The gilded pages are so pretty. They're so, yeah, sometimes sparkly stuff can really give your paintings kind of a cheap look, but just a bit of gold or silver just seems to give it a special richness. But it can be very easily, or how should I say that? It can be very easy to go overboard and then wreck it. That's what I find. You're the rabbit. This was experimenting with bright colors, winter scene. These are cute, the little winter birds. This was for February. They got the little hearts on their hat. You could do this one for anything, really. Could make it Christmas, um, fall, even. Put little leaves or something on them, or a little pumpkin hanging off, or a bat. Can do all kinds of stuff with that. Doesn't have to be just one um, month. Blizzard of this month of this year, 2023. And then I had cut a little door, and then I have this. What was it like? And I found these little bows that are material. So I just made a wreath. Just again playing with ink and a wash of watercolor for both of these. Playing with trees. This was cool. This was letting your watercolor cauliflower or bloom, whatever you want to call it, and then using it for trees or bushes in their landscape. I think that was a video. Quick little spring scene. Some bulrushes in a little river. Little winter. I must have been wanting spring then. This is inspired by Amanda Clark. I love her stuff. Another spring scene. The colors I used. Some daffodils, or not daffodils, tulips and crocus. A lot of pen work in some of these. This one particular for shading. Daffodil, narcissus, or not narcissus. Oh my gosh, starts with an H. Huh? I can't think of it. I'm gone blank. Spring, different flowers, a little bit of pen work. Now this was just playing with Creative Cove is her YouTube channel. She was doing these little fairy houses and stuff, so I thought I'd give it a try. And that's what I came up with. Little toadstool homes with little fiddleheads. That's fairy I made up. I have some iridized, what's it called? Xander gave me this watercolor. So it's see-through, but it's got a gold sparkle to it. It's really cool for using for wings. So I use that. Some more pen work, pine cones. And this one's got a lot of pen work, little owl. Hyacinth. Thank you. Wow, look at you. You say you don't know anything about gardening. Another plant I bought. So get whatever is on your table and try drawing it. Put it in a sketchbook. It doesn't matter. You don't have to show it to anybody, but the more you sketch, the better you get. Same with anything else, cooking, music, sewing, singing. You got to practice if you want to get better. I find that in art, that is not looked at. And they don't seem to want to realize it doesn't come instantly. It has to be worked and practiced and studied if you really want to improve in your skills. Little poppy and a ladybug, pileated woodpeckers in a they they nest in little holes in trees and stuff. Um, Coleus, it's in my garden. That was a clematis and a little damselfly, they call them. It's like a dragonfly, but smaller. Um, Took a peony and matched the colors of the peony. And that's what this is. And then I just drew out the peony, but I didn't color it all. So again, experimenting with different styles of drawing and painting. Grosbeak, rose-colored grosbeak. We have these here too. Now this one was with acrylic. I was practicing this. It's actually very easy to do. It's all about how you load your brush and where you start with your first brush stroke. But it gives you a really nice look of a rose when you do it in this way. So I might try this again. Maybe even in watercolor, try it with a large flat and then just put the watercolor on the edge of one side and see if I can do the same thing. Be interesting. Or gouache, probably do that. Be neat. Well, here's another one of those combinations of collage. It's a collage of the month. So not collage as you would think paper, but a collage of paintings. So this was June, my birthday month when I turned 65. And my twin came down to celebrate with me. As you can see, we did gardening. More swatches, different colors of blue and yellow, and what kind of greens we got. And then kind of for face and skin tones we could make with certain colors. It's a July mix of different blooms that were blooming in July in my garden. Another just quick drawing of birdhouses. So it doesn't have to be anything great. Just something to do to keep you going. A little watercolor. Another writing about my phlox and black-eyed Susans. That was a YouTube quick one, watercolor and colored pencil. Just a quick little village. I just felt like doing something. This is all watercolor. Little fairy or whatever you want to call it. My Halloween mummy. I like them. A crow, kind of more of a abstract painting. Abstract, but I like abstract with realism, if that makes any sense. I like that look. I got to put that detail in. I can't help myself. Maybe that's why I can't. I find it very difficult doing abstracts. I have to have some detail that I can do because that's what I love to paint. Zombie man, boy. A winter stag. And that had a little bit of gouache in it. Oh, there's your card you gave me, Lena. I just love the richness of color in that. This is cute. See, you can do fairly smooth watercolor in this paper. There wasn't a lot of layers to this, and I did use a little bit of colored pencil on top, but you can get a fairly smooth look to the watercolor, which was surprising actually. December, another rain, and I used some old stickers that I had. This was a cutout. It's got some stuff written behind it. "2024 Year of the Dragon." We had roads closed on Christmas. And then it rained on January 7th. Like, it's ridiculous. Just don't know what you're getting. Oh, these are done. These are stencils I have, and I just traced the stencil. And you get these cute little snowflakes. This was watercolor and a bit of colored pencil. See, I was trying to figure out how to do my round garden beds. So took a pitch or a thing out of a magazine, decided to try and do some of the eyes on it. This is another collage of drawing. So my sister came down, we went to farmer's market day, and bought a bunch of tomatoes and cucumbers for pickles and beans. Did a bunch of canning. That was fun. So that's how I represent that time as a memory. These are lily trees. They're not really a tree, but they're a very, very, very tall lily. Huge, huge flowers, like dinner plate size. And I bought some and planted them for the spring to come up. These are the colors I got. And that's the name of them on the stem. Oh, I was going to do this. Again, I didn't finish it. I hardly got through any of it, but I do have the list, so I can always go back to this and do more. So it doesn't bother me that I never finished. It was something. It's magnolia. Pansies in a little teacup. This is like a watercolor color pencil, and then I actually made watercolor papers and cut out the flowers and the bee in different layers. So it's all multi-layered body. So little cuts along the edges to make it fuzzy. I really like doing this. It gives the texture of the flower or whatever you're going to collage. So it's not using already printed subject matter. You're making your own by just coloring the papers in different ways so that it looks textured, and then you use that. It's almost like stained glass, but you're using paper. So that was fun. And I got this idea actually from, oh, what's her? She has a YouTube channel. I'll have to put the name down below. She's so much fun. um, I should have wrote it down on here. If I can think of it, I'll put it in the description below. This is when I got my new gouache. I never did finish this. So see, I have stuff that's not finished. Just experimenting with colors. So I did a little village by a river. Turner gouache. There's just a little bit of a swatching. I decided to do Zentangles one evening. So this is what I came up with. And then another ballpoint pen sketch of a holly. Watercolor sketches of different plants and leaves that I have in my garden in the fall. And this was a paint along with Gary Frederick on YouTube. It was cute. You could actually he gives a link to get the traceable, and this is a traceable. So I thought I wanted to try it for watercolor and ink. He's got a really cute, whimsy type of look. And another swatch. That's my whale gouache. It's the swatches of it. I love these. I think they're great. And then here's the gouache painting I did with it. And just a few colors. Mostly, what was it? I had, passion blue, and there was a little bit of yellow and a little bit of a pink in the sky, and then brown. And that's the last one that I did on that one. And I just have a couple left to do. So that's the sketchbook from 2022. Now I did finish the year. This is the one I made last year. So I took the guts out of this book. Everything, I just called it. I'm going to rename it, take this off. But these are just put with an elastic band. And this is kind of diary / creative memories, visual, more painting or collage. It's kind of a mix of everything, but it's a quick way of documenting, document your month or week. It's not an everyday thing. I prefer that because I don't want to get stressed out that I missed a day. So if there's something important that I want to remember, I'll jot it down somewhere. And then when I have time, I'll put it in this book. So I just took a bunch of jelly prints, and I know everybody's got a pile of them sitting somewhere. And I folded them in half and I stuck them in this book. And I just paint over top of them or glue stuff on top of them, whatever. So this is what I have so far. And you'll see that there's not a lot in here. And I started it last year. And some of them are the um, printables that I had up for um, my Patreon people. Had a couple months up, and then I didn't bother after that. They didn't seem to have much interest in it, so I stopped. But I'm frugal, so I want to use this stuff up. So I'll write about things. This is just a bunch of collage papers on top of each other. I use washi tape and stickers and whatever I have in my stash that I just want to use up. This is something I just painted. I got stickers snowflakes that I put on top of there. And this is all on top, as you can see, of jelly papers. So whatever's on that jelly paper is in the background. So you don't have to worry about a blank page. So some have just collage, some have paintings or drawings. There's no rule to this. It's just whatever. Collage. A little bird that I like to do. But this is all collage stuff in the background. Little tip-ins. This was a painting I did. I think it's on YouTube. And I take pictures or copies of my art too and reuse them in this way. So I could put stuff in here. This is a little pocket that I used from a shipment label that came. I have a bunch of these eyes and I just drew a head. The eyes are separate, so I just use them. There's the eyes. So if you guys are interested in the eyes and stuff, let me know. Yeah, there's the vegetable shelter I made. That's all chicken wired on top, so the squirrels and birds can't get in there and eat my stuff. Here's another eye. And eyes make the expression. You hardly need anything else if your eye says it all. Birthdays. There's another drawing I did. Some stenciling. Another drawing. Some collage in there. Drawing. Sometimes I mix the two. There's the copy of the artist cards, trading cards that we did for Janet Young's. So these are the ones I made. I should put the ones I got in here too. Lilies. These are the lilies I gave Lara, my daughter-in-law. Thanksgiving dinner thing. That's the new pot I got for making bread. New bulbs I bought. There's gives you the name of the bulb and stuff. It's a packing list, but I just taped it together and got the pictures and put them in there. Halloween. So as you can see, it's only maybe every so often. There's not much here, and it's usually about either the month or about the week or a day. In November, Remembrance Day, that had a little bunny on that I did on Ustream, so I just stuck it in there. And it could be any kind of paper too. There's another one of those eyes that I drew. Snowstorm. November is when we first got our snow and it never left. And about postal strike. December. And remember, these are all backgrounds from my jelly prints. And some of them I use washi tape, dinner menu, and I write more about stuff on some I don't. And I get cutouts from my magazines. I can add pages. But it's fun to do these. For me, it's more about the ephemera or painting that I put on it than the writing. Sometimes I don't need to write anything because it's there. And that's it. So that's for a year. But it tells me enough of how my year went that day. Now I could put a year in review type of thing on here, and I may yet, and just put an envelope and stick it on here with the letter inside. And now I have 2 more belly band type things. They're not belly band, but the elastics that I can add for my year now. So it's a great way to, if you don't feel like getting stuff out, you want to just use collage and use up your stash and your jelly prints for documenting your life in somehow. That's what I like to do. Lena, what I got, it came finally. It was on order. So comes in a little case. So it's the what's this one? Praline Crimson. Does it give the PR 179? This one is Pyro Orange. And this one isn't the transparent one. This is the other one. And it is a little different than the Pyro Orange transparent. This one is Nickel Azul Yellow. A lot of people have that one. This one is Payne's Gray. Now, I thought for sure she had the Payne's Gray Violet in hers. But this is the Payne's Gray. So it's PBK7, PB 15.3, and PV 19. No, that's PB 15.3. And this was the one I didn't have. It's called Ultramarine Turquoise. And it's PB29 and PG7. And actually, where did I put that? Daniel Smith has one that you can get. You can't get this one on Golden's website, which is odd. But you can get the Daniel Smith one. And I had it here. Where did I put it? There it is. And it is ultramarine turquoise. And I did have them swatched out. Now, where did I put that? I don't see it anymore. But yeah. And then this one is sap green, is what they're using. So be interesting to see how this, I want to try this for sure. I love her work. But I know what you mean about letting things bleed. I'm not sure if I'm too keen on that. I'm a smooth, detailed person when it comes to portraiture. So, but I do like her skin tones, the way she does them. So that in itself would be interesting to do. Sap green, surprise. I was thinking PG7 Viridian for the turquoise. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to get together and paint. see what we think when your hands are up to par again. So I think that's it. Put this out so it's not glaring. Yeah, I just thought I'd show you. I haven't done a flip for that. Pyroline will give great skin tone mix. Yeah, I really like the way she does it. So I'm gonna have to look at that video again and see what I can do. All right. Well, I guess I'll let you guys go. And thanks, Lena, for popping in. And hope you all have a fantastic weekend. It's going to be terribly snowy and frigid cold here. I'm so looking forward to spring. All right. Thanks, Lena. And we'll talk soon. And have a fantastic weekend. Bye for now. Okay, now how do I get out of here? Edit, end stream. There it is. Bye.